Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Will the Dragon Whisperer, back with another video for the channel, and I got two of my miracle dragons here. Wanted you guys to see them in the intro here, but in this video we're going to be showing you some techniques to work with defensive ball pythons. I have a beautiful inchy female hatchling I got from ODGC Exotics. That can be a mouthful at times, but you guys go check out his channel, show him some love, throw him a subscription, throw some likes on his videos. He's producing some beautiful animals this season and growing his collection, so you guys go check him out. He's building a huge facility over there right now. It's going to be a lot of big exciting things to happen with him and his channel, so go check him out. But this little girl, she's been extremely defensive. I want to first start off by saying that ball pythons are not aggressive, you guys. They're never ever aggressive. They can be defensive. They have a fight or flight mode when their anxiety is high and when they're having their food response. So if you see a ball python strike, it is always defensiveness or food response. This girl's extremely defensive. She hasn't been handled very much, so we're going to show you some techniques today. Big shout out to Canova and Kevin McCurley from Nerd with helping me learn some of these techniques, but I'm going to show you guys how you can handle your animal, desensitize them without getting bitten and without taking the risk of hurting you or your animal. So we're going to get straight to that and show you guys the techniques I'm using. So let's hit the road.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
At this point, I'd let the ball python sit on the table for 10 to 15 minutes, and she had just started to open up, but as soon as I approach the animal, you can see immediately how her behavior changes. Now, I left the background noise on this part of the video because I want you guys to hear at the 11-second mark the sound of this animal strike and the power they have, even as hatchlings. Now you can hear the power behind that strike even at an animal that small. And I'm not trying to antagonize this animal. I'm simply trying to show it that this behavior is not going to hurt the animal. This behavior is going to occur. I am in a predatory position, being in a position where I'm coming from over top of the animal because that's how a predator is going to come at the animal. But I wanted to understand that this behavior is perfectly fine. It's going to happen, and it is not a danger to the animal. So you see that this elicits multiple responses of strikes from the animal, but I'm going to use this reaction to the target and their behavior when I go to have tactile interactions and start to create those bonds of trust. The way it interacts with this target is going to help me be able to pick up the animal later. Now you guys can see the strike right there. She is definitely in high anxiety mode. She is, she's a young snake. She's not been handled very much. Like I said, she came from ODGC's Exotics. There she goes again. And, she hasn't been handled much. He has a large collection, and he takes great care of his animals, but he's just not able to, handle every single hatchling. This is a beautiful female inchy. And I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to start working with her and some of the techniques. Like I said, I've learned a lot of this from Kevin McCurley from Nerd and the gentleman from Canova. Watched a lot of his videos on this same topic. And I want to desensitize my animals. I have kids that handle them and nieces and nephews, and I handle my snakes a lot. At least my collection isn't anywhere close to being big enough where I don't have time for that right now. And this girl struck at me a lot, and we want to tone that behavior down. Now, I'll repeat, ball pythons are never ever aggressive. They become defensive when their anxiety is high. Or during feeding times, they may strike out as a feeding response. But ball pythons are not going to go after you. They're not aggressive. As you can see, she's not trying to come after me. She's just trying to protect herself. She has not been handled. She doesn't understand human interaction. She doesn't understand that it's not going to hurt her yet. But they are very smart animals, and she'll figure that out very, very quickly. And I'm going to show you guys how we're going to work with her on that. Now, as you can see, like I said before, she's already striking out. She's come close to me a few times. But there she goes again, but she hasn't got me. Now, while she's focused on this hand, we're going to come from behind, and there we go. I've got her. That's one of the things you can do, and she's very tense now. I'm not going to present her with a target. I'm not going to put anything in front of her face to give her something to go for. She's still tense. She's still ready to strike. She's still ready to bite. We can take this hand, come from underneath. There she tensed up again just by the touch of that other hand. We're going to place her down, but as you can see right here, I'm touching her body. She's coming around to track that touch. We're going to try to Stretch her out some. Now there she goes. She's tracking both hands. She is very, very defensive right now. She's very, very wound up. She's going to go at anything right now. She is definitely going to strike out some more. There she goes. And while she's looking at this hand, now see, now she's tracking both hands. She's tracking both hands now. It's very, very hard for me to get either one of my hands so that I can get a hold of her. You're going to have to be quick and be decisive in your movements. And once you can try to start to stretch her out, but don't give her targets. You don't want to put anything in front of her face and give her targets. But you want to continue to try to manipulate her and get your hands on her, get that human interaction, that touch, that feel of hand on her skin. So while she's tracking this hand, we're going to come from behind with this hand. Now she's tracking this hand, so we'll try to come from the other side. But you're going to want to try to get her focused in one area, come at her from the other side. We have her again, and that's just kind of what you want to do. While you have her in your hand, kind of rub her body, palpate her a little, give her some touch, some sensation, then put her back down. We're going to continue these behaviors in these little short threads of trust, like Kevin calls them, and eventually those threads will allow you to form big interaction sessions and longer sessions and build more bonds of trust with the animal until you're where you want to be. Now, one way you can quickly short circuit this type of behavior, I'll make sure the camera's still rolling because it cut off on me a while ago. One way you can quickly short circuit this behavior, I use a paper towel roll. It works a lot better if you have one a little smaller than this, but this is the one I just had on hand at the time. But this is something that's soft. It's not going to hurt the animal. If they bite it, it's not going to hurt their teeth or their mouth. So I like to use something soft like this. Some people use, say, a snake hook. I don't have a snake hook. Don't own a snake hook. Don't want to interact with my animals with snake hooks. Of course, I don't have any hots or anything like that, so that would require a snake hook. So if my animals bite me, they bite me, but I want them to feel my hands. Or if I'm going to use the implement, I want to use something soft and that's not going to hurt them like this. If they strike at a snake hook, it could hurt their teeth if they hit their fangs on that metal. So I'm going to use this paper towel roll, and what I do is just boop right on the head, boop, 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 and eventually that's going to get them to go into the old ball python ball. And once they go into the ball python ball, you'll be able to pick them up because she's kind of got out of the fight and she's into the flight or the protection mode. So that's one thing you can do, is take you a soft implement like the paper towel roll and just go ahead and say, nope, I'm not going to deal with your striking. We're just going to boop, boop, boop you on the head real softly a couple times. Boop, 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 boop. And now I've got you. And then once you've got that, you kind of short-circuited that behavior. You can go ahead and take her, pull her out, open her up, manipulate her. You've really short-circuited that. See, now I'm being completely different with her and she's not striking. You've kind of short-circuited that defensive fight mode. But now that I've taken my hands off of her, I'm above her still in a predatory kind of stance. She may go right back into that striking behavior. But now we have multiple techniques that we can use to put our hands on her and interact with her without getting bitten. Okay, guys, once again, this is the Dragon Whisperer. Big thanks to everybody who watched the video. And something that I have not been saying in the last videos, want to make sure that I start saying again, is every day when you roll out of bed, guys, be a giant, because all things are small to a giant. Be invincible, have that mentality, be a T-Rex in your life, affect the changes that you want to happen in your life, because only you can. So you guys, thanks so much for watching the video. Please smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope this video has helped you if you have any defensive animals in your collection that you need to work on. So thank you guys so much. See you in the next video. This is the Dragon Whisperer, and I'm out.